Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about the rumor that Concord could be coming back from the dead. Yeah, this was Sony's multi-million dollar failure of a first-person shooter, hero shooter.
This is one that was like Overwatch.
Yeah, it was basically Overwatch. Yeah, okay. It was like a much more progressive DEI infused version of Overwatch. They launched it.
Overwatch already is pretty progressive.
It is. That's why I'm like, we need even more lesbians. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's what they need, you know. So Sony launched this game. For those of you who haven't been paying attention, they launched it. It didn't even make it 2 weeks before they pulled the plug. They pulled it off of retail. They pulled it out of the stores. One of the biggest failures in video game history. And it turns out that the game had a monumental budget of about $400 million. $400 million.
That's why they're not just, getting rid of it.
Yeah. So now there's a rumor that they're going to rework it and make it free to play. Now, one of the many reasons people said that this game failed was because, unlike Overwatch, it's not free to play. You had to pay like $40 or $50 to play it, and there are so many other options out there. Games have been online for a long time that do things a whole lot better than Concord, and they are free to play. So the rumor is they're going to rework it and bring it back as a free-to-play game. Now, what'll be interesting is there actually was some concept art. I don't have it on hand, but people said that the original designs, the character designs, were significantly better, and then we had to DEI everything and make everyone ugly and overweight.
It was better before they sent it to consultants, or better before?
Better before they sent it to consultants.
Shocker there.
As I understand. Now, supposedly, the history of this, I think it was Colum Morror did a podcast episode where he talked to people that worked on it, and he said it was $200 million initially was the investment, and then they had to spend another $200 million because they were getting down to the wire and this game was not ready for prime time. Mm-hmm. And they had to basically outsource everything. So $400 million flushed. So yeah, Sony, look, they're not going to just throw it away. They're going to do something with it. And this is the rumor of what's going on because apparently files are still being updated and there's been some movement there, but they might relaunch it next year. Maybe they'll just rename it or something just to try to get away from it. Just keep the engine, but something's going on. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
This is coming from WCCFtech.com. Concord rumored to still be updating on Steam. Potential to go free to play. They said it's speculation, but they said it's rumor that Concord is still continuing to be updated on Steam, with Sony updating their game files via Steam's backend, leading to rumors swirling that Concord will be making a return. Just in time for Christmas.
For next year?
For next year, probably, yeah. It's going to go down PlayStation's history, but not in a positive light like they're hoping. Instead, the game completely flopped and was removed from the store within weeks, and refunds were given to all who purchased the title. The rumor comes from Reddit, which shows the exact files that have been changed in the Steam database for Concord, with the files being updated on October 8th. Multiple industry professionals have commented on the Concord debacle, with many saying that going free to play is the only thing that could possibly save this game. There are also professionals who say Concord is just completely dead in the water with no chance of redemption. I can't imagine them just throwing everything out with as much money as they spent on it. And
that's way too much money just to flush.
Almost $500 million.
And I think they're going to put limits on that too. Like the government's not going to be like, you can't write all of that off. I wouldn't think. Yeah,
the government won't. I mean, if it feels like a scam to them, like even a failing business, like you only have, as I understand it, you only have so many years to take a loss on a business. Like you can't intentionally keep a business that's failing open for 20 years and be like, oh, I'm just going to run this thing at a loss for the next 20 years just to, take the write-off. They give you there's a cap on that. I'm not sure how many years it is, but it's if this thing isn't making money within 5 or 10 yeyears, it's never going to make money. It said, considering that Concord was a huge project for Sony, reportedly sinking millions, the word is $400 million, makes sense they would try their hardest to redeem this game, even if it seems like the general gaming audience doesn't care much about whether it ends up saved or not. I think they would have to rename it. I think they would, I could see them maybe saving the engine or something, but they would have to completely rename this thing. Call it sexy bitches with guns.
I'm not gonna call it that. Have you seen some of these characters?
Sexy bitches with guns would totally sell. Oh my God, wouldn't that be? Oh, that would be freaking hilarious if they brought it back and they got rid of like all the frumpy dumpy characters and they brought back like sexy bitches with guns.
Yeah, well.
And it was free to play.
I don't know how much money they want to spend to change it. They're gonna make some changes to that, but I don't think they're going to add a lot of cost to it.
Oh, so here are the files that are being updated, right? So apparently, man, people can check all this stuff. But yeah, they've been updating the files. Is on Reddit. There are 38 comments here. Let's see. Oh, it got removed.
Interesting.
This BS is going to return free to play soon. I mean, they have to, right? They can't pour that much money into the game. Yeah, that's what I think. I think they're going to have to do something with it. Maybe they'll have a chance unless they change all the characters. Nobody's going to play this crap. Sexy bitches with guns. Yeah, nobody's going to buy skins for those sad bastards. They're all now the island of misfit mascots. They did say they intended to continue work on the game in the hopes of bringing it back in some form. It should be free to play. Watch now as people pretend this wasn't a major narrative. The main issue with the game was it was all the content you'd expect from a free-to-play hero shooter, but instead of actually being a free-to-play game, it was a full-price launch. Had it been a free-to-play from the beginning, it might have done well. No, I don't think it would have been. There was absolutely nothing about this game that stood out except for how awful it was and how cliche the characters were.
They still attempting to cook this broken mess?
Broken, the game was pretty playable. Is he one of the 600 people that...
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're going to do something with it. And I mean, I guess, like, I think what gets me about this is when you have a situation like this, and whether it's, a video game or a movie or whatever, like, sometimes it does pay off to send it back to the kitchen, right? I mean, sometimes it does. I mean, look at what happened with Sonic the Hedgehog. They had the trailer for the Sonic movie.
But that was a much bigger... It was a lot bigger than this was. Like, it had a huge backlash, and I sent it back because it was a massive audience, not what limited audience this was. But
this should have been, like, look, if you're going to spend that much money on a hero shooter on Sony, it had better be the best damn thing you ever put out, because they're so crowded right now. I mean, you're competing with Fortnite, you're competing with Valorant, you're competing with Overwatch, you're competing with, you name it. There's like tons of them, and they need to stand out. And that's why I think sexy bitches with guns.
There you go.
It's money in the bank. That's my idea, Sony.
But that's not okay. If you see the Lara Croft, you're not allowed to be a sexy bitch with a gun. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up.
We're going to wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Join the reef. Go to clownfish-.com. That's clownfish-.com. You will get exclusive access to podcasts and videos and comic strips and more, as well as merch discounts. Check it out. If you were a member, you could get this t-shirt, this dismal t-shirt on our website. You'd get a 10% discount on that. You can also join in the community on clownfish-.com. Thank you so much for the support.